Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 9. I'm your English teacher Zia. Students, I hope that you can listen to me clearly. I hope that I'm audible. Yes, type the message yes in the chat box to let me know that my voice is reaching to you loud and clear. Yes, thank you so much. Students, today, as you know, we are dealing with our unit 2 and we are on lecture 6, and we have the competency of oral communication. It means that we will be covering a student's learning outcome that talks about oral communication, that how you can communicate and conversate in the English language freely and efficiently. Now, let's read our students' learning outcome, break it down, and let's see what we are supposed to do. This lecture, dear students, is very important. I hope that you have good active internet connections because I'm going to take feedback from you. You have to unmute yourself by raising your hand first. Then you'll have the permission to talk, and then you can answer that question. So it will be a collaborative lecture. I need your feedback and response because this is about listening and then responding to it, right? Am I clear? So we will be talking about the student's learning outcome over here, which says demonstrate attentive listening skills to respond orally with standard pronunciation. Let's see. We are going to demonstrate attentive listening skills. It means that our students' learning outcome is related to listening carefully, attentively, so that you can put forward your answers. So it means that this is a two-way process. This lecture needs your understanding and your input more than mine, because at the end of the day, you want to be good listeners so that you can be good, you can give good feedbacks and make the conversation good and fruitful. So I hope, students, that you can see over here that this is about attentive listening skills. Why do we do it? Because if we want to respond to any speaker, any speech, any audio, then we need to respond to it as well in the form of answers, in the form of our feedback. So we will be talking about responding orally. Orally means verbally, with your mouth, and with standard pronunciation. Pronunciation is how we say the words in English correctly according to the standards that are there. So, attentive listening skills, we'll see what is listening, what is attentive listening, how can you be attentive listeners, and how you can respond to any speech, any audio clip, any speaker, how you can respond to any questions while you are in a conversation. Because listening does half of the job. In oral communication, you have to be good speakers and also you have to be good listeners as well. Now let's move on. Here is a vertical linkage, as we always show you, to make you understand that this has been going on from the previous grade. Now, students, let's brainstorm. So why do you think that this skill or this competency of oral communication is important to you as a language learner? Can you put forward your answers? Yes, students? Who's interested in today's lecture and who's active right now, that who's going to respond? All right, let's move on. Yes, listening, understanding is very important. It does half of the job because communication is a two-way process. It's like traffic, two lanes, they are connected. So you want to be good listeners. And how we can be attentive listeners? Attentive means when you are in your full attention, right? So I need your answers. I need your feedback over here. Okay, let's talk about active listening. Active listening or attentive listening, you can call them both. They are the same thing. These words are interchangeable. Now, this is related to listening. Now, students, can you tell me the difference between listening and hearing? Yes, please type in the chat box. What is the difference between hearing and listening? Are they the same words? No. Good answer. These are not the same. Yes, it is related to sounds, it is related to our ears, it is related to our whole process of processing sounds, but they are different things. Now, listening, when we talk about listening, it's a process. It means you have to be active to be an active listener. It's a process where you understand the sounds, encode it in your mind, you decode the sounds and you understand them. But hearing means you're just hearing sounds. Okay, so hearing is when we are not paying attention, we are just hearing the sounds. But listening means we are actually trying our best to understand what is going on. Now, okay, to be a good, attentive and active listeners, now let's see what we are supposed to learn. Now, listening, dear students, is an important skill. Next, we can define listening as follows. This is what listening means. Listening is a process. It means that this is what you do intentionally, and this is what you do with your full attention. Now, listening is a process of receiving. How? Because we are receiving the sounds. When somebody is speaking to us, when somebody is talking to us, or we are listening to any audio, we are actually receiving. We are the receivers, right? We interpret. Interpret means to show our understanding that yes, we are listening. I got your message. And reacting. In your listening process, you also react to the speaker, to the speech, or to the audio. So, we listen to any message received from the speaker. Now, when we are speaking, we are the senders. But when we are listening, we are the receivers. Okay? Now, no communication process is complete without listening. It means that if you want to have a good communication, oral communication with your words articulated from your mouth, it is not completed unless you are good in listening. This is why it is very important. Let's see. So how can we be good listeners? Students, please be very responsive in this lecture. Why do you think that we should be good listeners, and how we can be good listeners? Yes, students. Yes. Sadia, Rayan, Anik, please pay attention. And if you're hesitant to unmute yourself, you can type in the chat box at least, and you can give your feedback. Okay, I hope it's clear now. So, number one thing in listening process is paying your attention. It means that you need to be attentive, you should stop daydreaming, and you should be very much focused towards the speaker, right? So number one is we need to pay attention. We need to be fully attentive because we are listening. Then maintain eye contact. It means that when you're talking to somebody face to face, you need to make a good eye contact instead of looking here and there or just looking on the ground. You need to be looking at the person who you are listening to, because the eyes also tell you some messages, like face expressions, hand movements, your gestures, like I'm doing right now. So these are also very important. So if you want to be good listeners, you have to look at the speaker and make eye contact, like I'm doing here with some students sitting over here. They're looking directly at me. instead of just looking over here and there, because they are actually listening and understanding. Okay, next one is asking clarifying questions. Now, when you are listening and if you are stuck, you don't understand, what do? You ask questions. I don't understand this. Sir, can you repeat it? Or you would say to your friend, please, I don't get your point. Can you repeat it? Can you clarify it? So you are asking questions so you can get the full, complete message. So when we are listening, we will also, when it's time, only when it's time, it's appropriate, you will ask some questions. How did it happen? So when did it happen? Or where? Or when? How? What? All these questions, all these interrogative words, you can use them in asking questions so that everything is clear to you. Now, next one is you provide your feedback. Your feedback is very important. For example, if I'm talking to my friend, all right, it's a very easy example. If I'm talking to my friend and he's talking and I'm not saying anything in the response, I'm silent, my lips are zipped, it means the conversation will be over. So I need to give my feedback. Feedback means my response, my reaction. So feedback is also a very important element when we are having a face-to-face communication or when we are listening to somebody. It could be a person who's in front of us or online, digitally, maybe on a call, maybe in any kind of video clip or audio clip. So students, providing the feedback, your response is very important. We talked about it. We said that listening is a process. So in the process, you need to be active, right? Now, avoiding interruptions. When a speaker is speaking, or when you're listening to an audio clip, or if I'm talking to you, you do not interrupt the speaker because the speaker will be distracted, he will be lost, he or she will lose the whole, and you will also lose the message. So it means that you do not have any kind of distractions, any kind of there should be no noises, etc. So you need to be somebody who avoids interruption. Let the speaker complete his or her message, his or her turn, and then you will speak or you will give your feedback. So these are some basic ethics, basic elements of having an oral communication. So what was our SLO? Attentive listening skills. So this is a rule of being an attentive listener. These are very much important. We'll talk about it. We will also do some activities. Now, let's talk about pronunciation. We talked about standard pronunciation. For example, take any word, let's say uh, refrigerator, right? There's a word refrigerator. Now, if you're not pronouncing it correctly, you are saying refrigerator or refrigerator or something like that. It means the pronunciation is incorrect. The correct pronunciation is refrigerator. So you have to pronounce it correctly according to the standard rules. This is what a pronunciation is. Now, let's see how we can improve our pronunciation. This is a very good picture. It has some tips over here. Now, number one, he says that speak entire phrases out loud to practice the rhythm of a new language. It means that we need to be saying words with full power, full words, so that we don't mumble. So we don't just crush some words in our mouth. You have to be very much articulate. You have to say your words and sentences with full conviction, with full power. Only then you can easily convey your message. Now, next one is you chat with native speakers to improve your pronunciation. It means that if you have a chance, if you meet a native speaker, native means that person whose native language, whose mother tongue is English, and if you have a chance, you must talk to them in the English language and hear them, listen to them properly. This will increase your experience and ultimately your confidence. Next one is you record your speech and listen to your own recording. We all have devices, we have phones, we have tablets. We can easily record ourselves. Let's say I'm going to talk about my day. How was my day? Let's press the record button, say it for speak for 10 minutes, stop it, listen to it. Then see if I'm pronouncing the words correctly or not. Do that again. Do this over and again until you are fully satisfied. So this is also a very good way of having good pronunciation. Then you practice pronunciation drills, sounds you have trouble making. For example, if you have problem in saying the word T or K or the word the sound of the word P in parrot. If you have any kind of problem with these words, with consonants or with the vowel sounds, what are you going to do is you will make some time and practice them. Practice your words that are difficult. Some people cannot say the word T. Some people cannot say the word R, the sound of R. So this is also very important that you practice them. And the last point mentioned over here is you watch entertainment, movies or TV shows or your favorite documentaries, your favorite information. So do that and consume that in the English language so that your pronunciation gets correct. So when the English native speaker is speaking, we can clearly see, oh, this is how we say this word, right? I've been saying it wrong. So now I will say this just as the documentary, just that as in the documentary or in that show. So these points, they will help you in making your pronunciation better. So are we clear till now? Is everyone clear about the pronunciation? Okay. Now, here I have a little test for you. All right, this is related to your sound. So you need to unmute yourself and then answer this. How do you say this word? Yes, you tell me. Thou? Uh, Maybe it's correct, maybe it's not. We'll talk about it. So students, yes, Anfal. Anfal, I hope you're attentive.
Do.
Yes, though. How do we know this? That's a good answer. This is the pronunciation key. You will learn that all the charts in higher classes, these are international phonetic alphabets, and this is a whole chart of every sound, whether it's a consonant or a vowel. So this is though, but some people say thou or do. This is not correct. Now, is a similar word with just an additional T at the end. How do you say this word?
Thought.
Thought. Good. And how do you say this word?
Cough.
Cough, or somebody call it cough. That's fine. But you can't call it, yeah, you can't just mix these together. Okay? So, for example, there's a word K-N-O-W. It's no, but some people call it noun. So this is not right. So you have to first listen to the correct pronunciation and then you adopt it. This is a very simple trick. Listen and adopt.
A summer sun.
Now, pause it. Okay, students, what do we learn till now? We learned that we want to be good, attentive listeners, and there are some steps that you need to follow. For this classroom activity, what I'm going to do is play this audio clip in front of you. You have to be good listeners. Listen to each and every word carefully, and then you will respond to it. I have some questions in the next slide, but before that, we will play this video, this audio clip titled "A Summer Sunday," and listen to it. Okay, students. So this was a very interesting story that the man
A
has
summer
told us.
Sunday.
Okay, now I hope that you have listened to this audio clip that I just played. It was about a summer Sunday, and we get to hear like three and a half minutes of this. So now, what did you learn? What did you do? Did you listen or did you hear? Yes, we listened. We carefully listened without any distractions so that we can easily remember the points, and if somebody asks any question or if you want to respond to it, you can do it easily. Now, students, I need your attention. I will just ask one simple question first, then we will move on to these a little complicated questions. Now that you have listened to the clip, I hope that you have got the whole theme and the whole point of that video clip. So, what kind of day was it? Yes, it was a summer day. And how did the speaker described it? And yes, that's good answer. Anybody from the Zoom class who've joined us over here? So what kind of day was it?
Summer Sunday.
Summer Sunday. And can you remember, can you retain some more information about the day? It was a warm summer Sunday and they were going to pick up strawberries, right? Okay. Now, next, what did the narrator, the speaker, do in the morning? Yes, Anfal. Yes, you have listened to the clip. I want your response and your feedback on the question that what did the narrator do in the morning? Yes, Ali. Nadeem. Yes. First he went to pick up the strawberries and he got a lot of them. And what else? Yes, it was a relaxing day. What else did he do? Yeah, he got all his stuff. Then he went to the farm. They were allowed to pick up the strawberries. So he got a bunch of them, actually a lot of them. Then he went to the beach, right? This is how the day was. Now, next one. What did the narrator or the speaker do with her daughter in the evening? Now, the afternoon is over. What did he do in the evening? Yes, students. What do you recall? Just storm your brains, please, and retain information. This is how, when you're listening, and now then, after that, you have to respond to it. Yes, Asif, Rayan, Muhammad bin Nadeem.
He go to his home with her.
Okay. He also went to the beach. They had a fun time over there, and he also dipped in the cold water. It was very chilling, and he felt a cold shiver and a chill in the body, right? Because the water was cold, contrary to the day, which was a very warm Sunday. Now, in this way, when you're listening to anything, after that, you may be asked to answer some questions related to that speech or to that conversation. So, in order to be good listeners, you have to listen to it carefully, make up the points in your mind. Students who have answered those questions, they've done a very good job. However, you need to be more elaborative and detailed in your answers. So this will tell you that you have retained most of the information from that audio clip. Now, here over here, we have this simulation link that you could watch later on. This also has a very good conversation, and uh, in the video the guy explains to you that how you can become good listeners. There are some ways, some important techniques and points. By using them, you can remember the most of the information from that audio clip. Now, here over here, if I open the Google Drive's link, you can see a list of hundreds of audio clips that are available. They are like 1 to 3 minutes long. You can listen to that, and then you can ask questions to your friends. You can make up a very good questionnaire, a question of like a question bank of like 3 or 4 questions, and then you will record yourself answering those questions. Now there are lots of them. You can either choose one daily or twice daily so that you practice your listening skills. All right. Now you will check out this Google Drive link later on, and these are the audio clips that are there for your attentive listening skills practice. Okay, now here this is a live worksheet. Now if I just open that worksheet from here, just a quick glance on the worksheet. Okay, it's just going to start. Okay, now if I come over here, you can see that this is a worksheet. You have to click on this point, listen to it, and then answer these questions in the form of MCQs or all these different kind of activities and drills, so that you can give a very good response to that audio clip over here. This is a live worksheet. You can access it using this link that I've shared with you. Now, students, after doing this worksheet, you have to submit your answers about that, and you have to do it before the next lesson. Now, this is your homework. We have shared a link with you in the Google Drive. Pick 1 or 2 or as many as you can. Listen to those audios and then give your feedback. Okay, we have a question bank over here, a worksheet, and this PowerPoint presentation. Thank you for listening, students. I hope that every one of you have understood today's video lesson, and this was about being attentive and active listeners with some drills, some practices. I've shared the resources and material with you so that you can practice at home after this lesson and listen to as many audio clips as you can and respond to them. You can record yourself or you can write the answers as well and share it with me. Till the next video lesson, dear students, take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.